We can read your lips.
Yep.
We had a president that said, read my lips, right? Remember that one?
Yep.
Okay. Brent is with us, and he's not going to show his face, he said, because he's sick. But Brent, we got you with us, right? We can't.
That is correct.
Thank you. We can't read your lips if we don't have video.
Yeah, we're sorry about that. I'm home with a chest cold.
Well, hope you get better. Elaine Gisler, we got you. That's a beautiful background. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And Alicia, our vice chair, thanks for joining us.
Yep, here.
And Fallon, are you driving as well? Are you a passenger or driving?
Well, I'm in the parking lot, so I'm not driving.
Okay.
But
Well,
parked currently.
thanks for joining us. Appreciate that. Any other board members who are with us?
Yeah, Draxler in person.
Oh, that's right, Jax. I saw you on the ground in person. Well, thanks for being there. Are you like slumming and causing problems up at the Capitol, and so you drop down to North Temple there?
Our granddaughter has a gymnastics meet, so
that's a lot better than okay. That's a good excuse. We're glad to have you, and thanks. Appreciate everybody's attendance with the short notice and for this special meeting. We also have people from the department. So Nathan, I know you're with us there, right? And we also have Shane. Is there anybody else?
We do. We have Lori Bacchus here, Scott Strong, Susan Zaracarizi, Devin Chavez is here, and Chris Haramoto.
Perfect. And then we have our other regional managers, Wayne and Megan. Always appreciate you guys. And Melanie's on the road. We appreciate you setting all this up, and glad you're not driving, but thanks for all that you do. Appreciate all the staff and everybody. So welcome, and we'll call this meeting to order and move on with our agenda. Shane, we've got you on the agenda to give us an explanation of why we're meeting and the purpose of this today. Can we go to you, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Nice to see you all today, even if it is virtually, and Jack in person. So the purpose of today's meeting is for the board to concur in Director Joe Ferry's appointment of the new State Parks Director. So that's why we called this special meeting today. I know that we generally don't meet other than quarterly, but we appreciate you taking the time to do it. Just by way of explanation, the Natural Resources Code, Section 79.2.204 requires the board to concur in Director Ferry's appointment. And so after I conclude my remarks, Nathan Schwabach will make the announcement, at which point it will be time for the board to vote on concurrence. And so I would ask at that time for Chair Cram to bring that to order, ask for a motion after a second and any discussion. If Chair Cram, you could take that vote by roll call, since we do have some that are attending virtually, I think that'd be helpful for the record. So unless there are any questions that anyone has for me regarding kind of why we're here and any legalities, I'll turn the time over to Nathan.
Sounds good. Thank you, Shane.
Okay, Chair Cram, members of the board, appreciate all of you sacrificing some time today to visit. We would have loved to do this, I believe, 2 weeks ago was the board meeting. Would have been nice to be ready for that, but with the legislative session, it's been challenging to get through this process. A couple things I'd just like to say, kind of leading up to this, is we take this process serious as a department. I look at selecting a division director as an opportunity. It's really an opportunity to decide and look at whether there's course corrections needed or what's in the best interest of a division. And this is the second one we've done here in the last 6 months. The Division of Oil, Gas, and Mining, we named a new director there first of the year, and in this process. And so when we embark on this, we don't just go through an interview process. We don't already have a predetermined candidate or decisions made. We actually take time to visit with, in this case, 10 to 12 individuals from the field, different state park staff, just to get feelings and opinions and thoughts as to their views of how the division's progressing and areas of interest and concern. We did run a nationwide search That nationwide search resulted in applicants of about 40, I think it's 38 applicants. We went through 3 rounds of interviews and basically narrowed that pool of 38 down to 8. And 8 candidates were brought in for first round interviews. Then we whittled that down to 4. And we brought in some stakeholders and legislators to be involved in that second process. Chair Cram, you were a part of that, and we appreciate your time through that process. And then we pushed 2 names to Executive Director Ferry. Again, we look at this as an opportunity to examine the division as a whole. We know over the last few years, probably starting with COVID, there's been challenges. There's been a lot of change. COVID, and then the separation of state parks and the division of outdoor recreation. We know that we're in the midst of the law enforcement unification process. And so we know that weighs on employees and causes some concern and thoughts. And we, again, if there are employees listening and watching, we would want to speak with you and hear from you if you have concerns. We want to solve those. We want to address them directly. And we have had a number of people doing that. All of these different factors go into our decision as we look at this. And we are bringing forward to the board for concurrence Scott Strong, who currently is Deputy Director with the Division of State Parks, to serve in the capacity as Director of the Division of State Parks. So that is Executive Director Ferry's recommendation to the board. Ask for your concurring support in that. And I do want to express, let you know that he wishes he could be here today. With the legislative session, we're pulled in a number of different directions, and we actually have our Division Director of Water Rights is up for reappointment and being confirmed by the Senate as we speak. So double book today from that. But Chair Cram, will turn it back to you with that recommendation.
Thank you. And let me just note that at the start of your remarks, we had Russ Stedman join us, another board member. And so he was present for that explanation. And Russ, appreciate you joining us as well. So with that, I would also just support all the things that Nathan said, that there was a very exhaustive search and I think a very good process. And as Nathan said, the leadership welcomes comments from staff, from the field, from everybody, and this is a great milestone. I remember Mary and then Fred and Jeff and now Scott, and exciting times and changing times. With this, we would accept a motion to concur with the choice or the recommendation or from Director for Scott Strong to be the Director of State Parks. Is there somebody who'd be willing to make that motion for us?
I move that we concur with the choice of Scott Strong as the division. What are we calling?
Director, Division Director.
Director as recommended by Joe Ferry.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I think that was Jack seconding that. And so we need a roll call. All those in favor. Jack, can we start with you?
Yeah, and I'd first like to just say I appreciate the exhaustive approach of the department. I came here ready to ask what the process had been, and that was answered preemptively. So my vote of concur is yes.
Thank you, Joan.
Yes.
And Brent.
Yes, absolutely.
Elaine.
Yes.
Thank you, Alicia.
Yes.
And Fallon.
Yes.
And Russ.
Yes.
And lastly, I say yes as well. So Nathan, we'll go back to you. So we have unanimous concurrence from our board, and we appreciate this opportunity and moving forward.
Well, I appreciate your time. We will just here in the next half hour send out an email to all staff, all state park staff, and we look forward to working with you, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you. And thank you to the board.
Congratulations, Scott. Do you want to just say a couple of words? We don't have a lot of time and not a formal opportunity, but if you want to just say a second, I think that'd be appropriate.
I would very much appreciate that, Board
Can we
Chair.
move that camera over to Scott? Does that work?
He just has to make a noise,
It's
maybe.
on him.
It's on you.
Let's just.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
That's better. Thank you.
I want to say I'm both excited and honored and proud to represent state parks in this role as director in a capacity to lead and guide and inspire our Utah State Park staff, as well as our guests and those who visit state parks. I do want to express or share a couple of goals that I have. One is that with our staff, I want to create a culture of community in a place where we can share openly, as Nathan said, our thoughts, our ideas, and where our staff can be heard and involved in the way that we move forward. I'm very excited about that, as well as the idea that we provide the tools and necessary training to our staff so that they can be successful in their jobs. I also want to address our guests. So last year at Utah State Parks, we welcomed nearly 12 million guests. And I want to continue to welcome them and create an environment where we have memorable experiences that'll last a lifetime. Those of us in this room who love state parks have had those experiences, and I want to share those with more and more people. Next, I want to build and continue to maintain our relationships. We have so many good relationships with the governor's office, the legislature, our local community leaders, and I want to continue to have those productive and good relationships. And as Nathan mentioned, we've gone through a lot of change and a lot of challenges. And I'm so proud of the way that our staff has faced those challenges and come through them, and including the challenges that we're facing today, but that they ask good questions. And I want to stress that my door is always open. Our leadership team is always open to ideas and thoughts and concerns, and Lori's great at that as well as our region managers. And I encourage our staff to reach out when you have questions. Another of my priorities is planning. It's something that Susan's in the room. She's led our planning process for the last several years, and it's been a bit stifled. I'll just be honest. We haven't accomplished the goal that we wanted to 6 years ago. And I want to get back to building strategic plans, both at the division level and at the park level. And I want to use those living documents to guide us into the future. I've got some ideas, and I look forward to sharing those with our staff as far as how we can build those plans, as well as how we can bring in additional resources to help us build those plans. I'm very excited about that. Lastly, I just want to express my love of Utah State Parks. Our parks are so unique and charming, and they offer so many different things, from recreational opportunities to historical and cultural opportunities to experience something that you may have never experienced before. So I welcome all of Utah to our state parks. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that our staff is the heart and soul of state parks. Our staff is what makes state parks special. And I want to honor them and thank them for the great things that they do, the hard work, the skill, the expertise that they have in welcoming our guests, maintaining our facilities, and providing amenities and experiences for our guests. So thank you again, Board Chair. I'm honored for this privilege and look forward to the task ahead of us.
Thank you, Scott. Congratulations. And we look forward to moving forward in our partnership and all that we do. And we've got great things ahead of us. I appreciate the board's support in this decision. I would encourage our leadership and all of our employees to support this. And if you have questions or concerns, to express those, and let's all move forward and make good things happen. If there's nothing else, I would accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So move.
Was that Jack? Got a motion from Jack. Is there a second? Second from Elaine. Okay. Thank you so much. And Paul, thank you for making all this happen electronically. And our next meeting is down in our area. So Wayne and I are going to make some good things available for you, and we'll have a good time.
Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you so much.